You earlier released a report that claims half of the crimes in South Africa go unreported. What was the basis of your report?
Okay, good afternoon to you and your listeners. The basis of that report, what this SA does at the moment is they have taken it upon themselves to release a statistics report of victims victims report. You know, the difference between that report and the current statistics released by the SABC is that for the SABC information, that information is based on recorded cases collected from the administrative departments of all the police stations in the country. Whereas in the case of the victim survey that was conducted by SABC, on which our report was based, it is based on face-to-face interviews with a sample of households that is then applied to the rest of the country. And the one thing that they say about victim surveys is that while they might complement your ordinary crime statistics, such as the ones released today, is that victim surveys usually produce higher crime estimates. The reason being that victim surveys sometimes deal with incidents that may not necessarily match the legal definition of crime when households are asked what crimes they experience. For instance, I can give you an example that a lot of households that were asked which crimes they experienced, they talked about stuff such as bicycle theft and theft of crops. We know that in the case of the South African National Crime Statistics, that such subcategories fall under the broader category of theft. So that's where we got our statistics.
Now, given that, would you say the crime statistics which were released today by the minister are credible?
They are, because they are taken from the central administrative system of the SABC, so they are credible. The one thing, and it's a worldwide phenomenon, that they cannot capture all the crimes that are occurring in the country for a reason that it is known that all over the world, some people do not report their crimes to the police. But as far as giving a picture of what is happening in the country, you can say that the crime stats released by the minister are really credible.
What are the margins of error between those that go unreported and those that have been recorded by the SABC?
Well, when you go back to the SABC report, you will find that it's a set of crimes that are not reported to the police. That changes from year to year, but the figure, the proportion of cases not reported to the police, according to the victim survey, stays around that figure. Now, that in itself is not a concern, because, like I said, it happens all over the world. But what is of concern for South Africans is that it's a high number of serious crimes that are not reported to the police, according to what households say to SABC.
And do you think that leads to a crisis? Should we be in a crisis mode with regards to fighting crime?
Look, all categories of crime from 1994 up to the present have been going down. A lot of crimes have peaked in around the 2001-2002 financial year. And ever since then, all categories of serious crime have been coming down, except for aggravated robberies, which started coming down much later than all the other crime categories. And for crime categories such as drug-related crimes, it should be of no concern that they increase, because that's a crime that depends heavily. We know that is dependent on police action. So, which means an increase in drug-related crimes, which means that the police are really doing their job. What has been a surprise with the latest statistics is the sudden increase in murders and attempted murders. That should really worry South Africans. As far as other crimes are concerned, they follow the general crime trend that has been happening. For instance,